is my way of introducing George because I think he's the next speaker. I watched George one weekend plot his whole walk from Newfoundland to Toronto, taking 11 months eventually to fulfill. His focus is as straight as an arrow, no deviation. His energy is boundless. His creativity is never turned off. His desire to inspire the public and our governments is genuine. And he has no hidden agenda other than to educate the public and inspire the three levels of government. What does it mean to be privileged to be here? I didn't realize what it was to be an organ recipient, really be an organ recipient until I came on the road with George. And I've just spent the last 118 days with him. And I got to tell you, it's been an amazing journey.
Around and we make plans to go to the beach, we go here. How about taking a little bit of time making a plan for the future of somebody else? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm signing my donor card. And what I'm doing here, I want to help George create awareness. This is a very important thing. We shouldn't have 4,000 people waiting for us. This young fellow here waited 12 years. Shouldn't have to wait 12 years. So I'm just helping to create awareness, and if I can help, all the better for George, and I'm glad to be here and be part of this. I just want to leave you with this little message. May you live 100 years, and last voice you hear be
Getting to know you, George, and the best on the rest of your journey. Thank you.
Careful.
Oh, yeah. Quite a few of those going on now.
That's right.
It's starting to become more and more
Oh,
popular.
yeah, more and more popular. Yeah, one of you, what?
To my road manager here, Joe Camara.
Hi, Joe,
Hello.
behind the camera.
He's got 23
worship.
job descriptions.
Yes, that's
while
good.
he's
Just give my congratulations to George. I think George is amazing. He had a vision and a belief, and he had faith, and he put it all together and brought people together from all over the country, and enough money to do it, and had determination. And sometimes when you have a vision and faith like that, you get it done, even without a big plan beforehand. And we're all here in all the media because of George. And 2 years ago in Hyde Park, who would have known that it would have been this successful? And I think we should all give a huge round of applause to George personally.
I'm very pleased on behalf of all the citizens of Ottawa to recognize George's tremendous contribution, his tremendous leadership and commitment to a very important cause. It takes a very special person, a very special character to...
Who is a member of Parliament for the riding of Esquimalt Juan de Fuca. I think I have that correct, and I would like to say a few words as well. Dr. Keith Martin.
Thanks, Robert. You know that from living in Oak Bay. I first met George a little over a year ago when a friend of mine said, there's a gentleman walking across Canada to draw attention to organ donation. I thought, how extraordinary. Well, a lot has transpired, ladies and gentlemen, in that last year. And I want to thank, on behalf of all of my colleagues in the House of Commons, George for his courage and his heroism.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is one.
No, listen, we appreciate all your effort.
The system really isn't being utilized properly to get people help. What George is doing, the second thing, is bringing to national prominence the problem so that people can get together and solve it. And George was in Banff where there were 2,000 city mayors and councillors and regional government representatives, and the Prime Minister's representative and the Leader of the Opposition and the Leader of the third party, Joe Clark, and with Stockwell Day. And everyone acknowledges this is a problem. But the only way you're going to fix it is a national mandate and a provincial delivery system. So for the local people it can help, and this is life and death stuff. This isn't just some bylaw you pass or some other unimportant circumstance. It's life and death stuff. The provincial governments can be delivery agents for the federal government's lawmaking, and it can work. So George, on behalf of our community, I want to thank you very much for coming through town.
A couple of minutes. I would just like to say that I was in Banff last weekend, and I was coming out of the Banff Springs Hotel, and there was a van parked there with step-by-step on it. There's a guy rummaging around in the back looking for something, and I said, "Are you Joe Marcello?" And he said, "Yes, I am." So I introduced myself, and I found out later that his name is George, but I'd been calling him, after I'd called him Joe for about an hour and a half, he corrected me. So he's a very polite fellow as well as a very dedicated and courageous one. And I think it's just terrific that he's doing this because it is an incredibly important.
Re-emphasize what George is doing, the good work that he is doing, and the awareness, which is truly the biggest, I think, the biggest single obstacle, hurdle to overcome. And I think with your good work, George, and others that are helping you in that cause, that we can continue to get that message out to the federal government, and hoping that they'll act on it.
And we certainly hope he can get another 2,000 kilometers out of this pair of shoes and without any problems. So here you go. Enjoy them.
Thank you.
Let's have a look at that shoe.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. His expertise, my gift.
Well, thanks.
Enjoy.
What a great
Keep up
combination.
the good work.
Thank you so much.
And slide your
some
feet
socks.
into those.
We
You bet.
need the socks too.
Well, those
very
come highly
important.
recommended. So.
Yeah. And we're halfway there.
385
Halfway
days
there.
into a 600-day journey. That's a very, very major accomplishment. Congratulations.
I want to welcome you and say what a remarkable journey on behalf of a successful liver transplant recipient. And,
It's my pleasure to MC a little bit for George today, and here's our Honourable Health Minister John Nielsen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody, and a special welcome to you, George. As Saskatchewan's Minister of Health, it's my pleasure to welcome George Marcello and his Canada 500-day walk to Regina and to Saskatchewan. Congratulations on reaching day 248 of your journey. I understand that in total you'll be spending about 2 weeks in our province. We're all grateful that you are dedicating so much time and energy to educating people across Canada.
Welcome, Mr. Marcello, and I would ask members of the House to extend a warm welcome to him and wish him well as he continues on in his campaign for public awareness around organ and tissue donation.
Thank you, Don. You may have just said me most about the issue, George, is the fact that you have the ability to take action. Many people in our society that have problems, issues, and for some reason or another, they're just not able to get over the next step. And the fact that you have the ability to take action is going to improve the lives of many, many people, and I thank you for that, and we are in gratitude for that. Thank you.
Hi, how you doing? Member of Parliament? Oh, glad to give you a report after. Great.
Brian Massey.
Hi, Brian.
Councilor for Windsor here.
Oh, very
nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So I've lost enthusiasm.
Well, as you know, many of my colleagues in caucus have been very supportive of the National Registry. It's really hitting the scene on the national level, and thanks for your effort. It's just fabulous.
Yes.
On behalf of the Government of Canada and my colleagues in Parliament, to thank George for everything that he's doing to raise awareness in this very, very sincerely important.
incredible courage and commitment. Thanks for the opportunity to meet you.
Thank you for receiving me.
The battle board. All right. Really nice to
nice to meet you.
And in fact, I want to make sure that everybody knows I do have my donor card signed.
Yeah! All right!
Had a very interesting discussion with the MPP, Sandra Pupatello. And before I'm done, I'm going to convince her about precious consent.
Lastman ceremoniously lit the torch, and then he massaged my feet afterwards. I don't know if that's a Jewish thing. Anyway,
Howard volunteered to do
it might be a Mel Lastman thing. It might be a Mel Lastman. Okay, we'll leave it with Mayor Lastman then. So anyways, we passed it on to 122 mayors and politicians in each town and city that we've gone through so far. And this is our last stop in Ontario. So it's kind of, it's going to be emotional for me leaving Ontario. So this will be our final torch passing. So if you guys may.
Here you go. We promise not to drop it, okay? Sure. Nice feet, though. Yeah.
Citizens. And George is certainly an example of that. Congratulations, George, on a job well done, traveling across this country. And what surprised me to hear was that, in fact, out of all the world, we are still one of the civilized world. We are still one of the lowest in terms of donations. And I believe that George, through his teaching to other Canadians, that we will get better in bringing life to each other.
I'd also like to add that we just found out recently that quite a few RCMP detachments have adopted their own donor awareness policy as a result of us coming through.
Fairly high-profile people along the way.
One with the Pope in Rome. We're hoping to have an audience with him, and we're hoping he can proclaim on behalf of the Vatican that they fully support organ donations, and then we're hoping to stop off in London to meet the Queen.
We all know at base here, I mean, I guess this is what, how many years have you been doing this? I know this is at least the second.
Today is day 687.
687. Oh my God. That's something really to be proud of, and it really sets a great example for all of us. But if you would, on behalf of all of us here, there's 4,200 members here, military members, and of course that's just the service, there's another 5,000 of our defenders here as well. And we appreciate what you're doing here, and if you take that just away as a bit of a momentum, find a suitable place somewhere around, and we're going to make sure as well that this is put in our local newspaper, which will help raise awareness as well. And we're hoping that when you're walking all the way across the country.
Well, I'm almost finished. We're calling this the homecoming.
Oh, I see.
Revisiting 46 cities and towns in Ontario. Made sure that Petawawa was on the top.
Okay, well, I'm glad you did so. Anyhow, again, thanks very much.
It's a shame that we're living in a country such as Canada, where we're the lowest organ donating country, and many lives are being lost because of this. So we need to change that, and that's what this whole walk is about.
At the Meaford base, I'm Kirk Scott reporting for News Now.